Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. Can you all hear my voice? Testing, test. Hello. Assalamualaikum. Boleh komen di ruangan situ? Adakah anda mendengar suara saya? Hi Miss, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Can you see me? Selamat petang. Good afternoon. Hello. Okay, clear ya suara saya? So I can start now then. Yeah, okay. Michelle Price, that's my ex-students. Okay, boleh dengar Michelle, don't worry. So, okay, marilah kita mula ya. Chapter 2, welcome to chapter 2. Chapter 2 kita ada 3 subtopik. Subtopik yang pertama adalah equations. Subtopik kedua adalah inequalities. Subtopik yang ketiga adalah absolute values. Okay, so now kita akan fokus dengan 2.1 equations dahulu. Right. So dalam 2.1 ni ada 3 benda yang kamu kena solve, which is you are trying to solve equation yang ada indices, you are trying to solve equation yang ada surds, dan you mahu solve equations yang ada logarithm. So dia antara 3 ni lah yang kita akan belajar dalam masa 2 jam ini. Okay, so let's start with the first LO. Okay, the first LO is literally the indices. The second LO will be the surd, solving surds, and the third LO will be the solving logarithm equation. Okay, so now let's start with the very first LO, iaitu kita nak solvekan indices. So indices sekarang ni yang pertama sekali we have 5 to the power of x is equals to 1 to 5. So dekat sini you kena pandai bermain dengan calculator or even mental calculations. So here if I see 1 to 5, I know that I can change it into 5 to the power of 3. Okay? Because 5 to the power of 3 is 1 to 5. And therefore, we are trying to, okay, buat ya matahari ni, simbol matahari ni, it's like my trademark already. It means that it is very important, and I'm trying to compare the base and the index. Do you still remember apakah itu base dan index? So base adalah yang ini. This is what we call as the base. 2 adalah base, manakala 5 ni adalah index. So we are trying to compare the base and index dengan syarat base kamu mesti sama. Okay, dengan syarat base mesti sama. Base wajib lah saya tulis. Kamu buat nota ya. Base wajib sama baru boleh compare. Baru boleh compare. So now we can compare it. Allah. We can compare the index. Apabila base kita sama, kita bawa turun the index and the answer is straight away x is equals to 3. That's it. As easy as that when you are trying to compare the base and the index. Okay, let's go to the next example. Okay, so as I said, you have to know which base that you boleh compare dengan mudah. You kena make sure yang base tu adalah sama, but in this case, you don't have the same base. So what number that can it be? What number that can provide you the same base? Kamu kena fikir jauh sedikit, kena hafal lah actually. You really need to hafal these guys. Saya rasakan saya letak sini hafal 3, 1 squared is 1. 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. Sorry, 3 squared is 9 and etc. sampailah 12 squared is 144. Okay, so I want you to also hafallah 3. You know, hafal juga kalau 1 cube is how many? 2 cube is 8. Okay, and so on. Hafal lah sampai 12 cube. Can you do that please? Sebab dekat sini you akan perasan yang you can change it into base yang sama. Untuk nombor 9 ini dia boleh jadi 3 squared. 3 squared adalah 9. X minus 1, the power is just there. It is remain there. But what you are trying to do right now is you are changing this 9 into 3 squared. Yeah. So belah kanan dah settle, belah kiri kena fikirkan macam mana kamu nak dapatkan base yang sama dengan belah kanan. Okay, yang belah kiri ni you boleh tukar menjadi 3 what? 3 cube because 3 cube is 27. So these are the numbers that you should hafal. Because kenapa saya minta hafal? Sebab dia akan mudah untuk kamu buat banyak-banyak latihan and it gonna help you a lot in mathematics. Okay, that's why even my maths teacher during my form 4 and form 5, diorang memang paksa kami student hafal, kalau tak memang berdirilah sepanjang kelas. So I've been used to hafal at least lah cubic and square ni kita hafal. Okay, please make an effort to it. So apabila kita dah ada base yang sama, okay, base yang sama bolehlah kita compare the index, duplicate. And maybe I write it down here because it's important untuk soalan yang ni juga. Cumanya sebelum kamu compare, you have to remember to darabkan bahagian ni dulu. Okay, sebab dia masih dalam bentuk, do you remember this? Do you remember this formula? AMN. What do you get? You will get AMN. Dapatkan A to the power of MN ni dulu, which gonna give you 3 to the power of 3x plus 3 equal to 3 to the power of 2x minus 2. Bila you dah dapat dalam, macam dah tak ada bracket dekat sini, barulah you boleh start to compare it nicely. Barulah you boleh start untuk compare. Sebab dah hilang bracket dekat situ, so it's much easier for us to solve. That's why tinggallah 3x plus 3 is equals to 2x minus 2. Therefore, your x is equals to -5 only. Tada! Done. Done. You have got your answer here. Just remember, inilah yang paling mudah sekali dalam indices. Untuk menyelesaikan indices adalah hanya mengcomparekan base, make sure base sama, barulah boleh compare power dia, compare the index. Okay, as easy as that. Oops, let's go to the third equation. So now dekat sini, you were wondering, oh miss, macam mana saya nak compare ni? The base is not, bukan nak kata not the same. Yes, they are not the same, but can you change them into the same base? Can you change them into, how do I say, into base yang sama macam mana yang kamu buat tadi dekat sini? Yang ini boleh change to base 3, tetapi yang ini kalau kamu fikir lagi, you guna calculator or somehow, you cannot find a mutual base left and right. So you cannot, when you can't find the same base to compare, so use log both sides. So use log both sides left and right. So let me show you how. So log both sides, saya suka buat macam ni dulu because it's much easier. And the rest of it, saya akan terus salin sahaja. So 7 to the power of x plus 1. And on the right hand side is 12. Salin. Okay, so now, here we go. You are trying to solve the log. Okay, log ni maksud, kalau saya tak tulis bermaksud this is log base 10 ya. Tapi you don't have to write it. You know they are the base 10. Okay, so now what I will do is that I will apply formula to bring this power down. Saya mengapply formula x plus 1 going down. Tinggallah log 7 di belah kanan, darab log 7. And here remain the same, log 12. Okay, right? So dekat sini, you nak cari nilai x. Remember, untuk solving equation, always you are trying to find the value of x. So you bolehlah jadikan x sebagai subjek. You jadikan x sebagai subjek, terus direct sahaja because on the right hand side here dah tak ada x. Is there an x here? No, there is none. X. Tak ada x langsung pun di belah kanan. Jadi teruslah sahaja membuatkan x ini sebagai subjek, x plus 1 sebagai subjek. Therefore log 12 divided by log 7. And then jadikan x sebagai subjek, you will get log 12 divided by log 7 and then minus 1. Use your calculator and you will find that your x is 0.2770. Tolong double check untuk saya whether I'm doing it correctly or not. Okay, please ya. And this is where I use 4 decimal places. Paling sikit lah kita bagilah 4 decimal places here. Okay, that's good for you. Okay, dekat sini saya recap sikit ya. Dekat sini saya nak recap macam mana saya apply formula. I'll do it here. Okay, the formula that I'm using is actually log base A MP. Tak silap saya lah, sebelum ni saya guna M to the power of P kan. And then I bring the power P down. Therefore the rest of it saya tinggal salin saja. Log base AM. This is the formula that I'm using untuk power bring it down. This is what I'm applying. Power bring it down, so P is in front, the rest of it salin sahaja. Is it so far so good? Boleh ke? So now I want to go to the fourth question. Where you will see that, oh miss, this is another thing. This is another thing, miss. Oh, here we got base 5. Here we also have base 5. So dalam fikiran saya, oh I know base apa yang aku akan guna ni. Directly I just straight away know, oh I will use base 5. Saya sebut base 9 ke tadi? Sorry. Sometimes I just say what? I want to say 5 but I say 9. Did I? Okay, tak apa. So now my point is that base 5 saya akan pakai. Okay, base 5 saya akan pakai. Tapi masalahnya kita ada nombor 6 ni, miss. Macam mana miss nak pakai? Macam mana miss nak kaitkan 6 dengan base 5 ni? So, here's the magic. Here's some magic that I can show you. You see first, okay? Tengok dulu solution saya. So 2x, 5 to the power of 2x, saya jadikan dia pecah menjadi indices. Okay, I use formula here. Apa ni ya? A to the power of mn. Saya pecahkan dia menjadi A m times an. Yeah, this is what I do. Here, this formula, I change it into, I separate them. I am purposely separate them using indices punya formula. And then, on the right hand side here, I just leave it. I just copy it. And here, saya separatekan lagi 5 kuasa 2x ni menjadi 5x. Saya jadikan 5x ini sebagai subjek, macam ke sebagai subjects like my tumpuan, my focus. And therefore 2 saya bawa keluar. Darabkan dengan 5. The rest of it salin balik. So now I am using formula apa ni? Saya tengah menggunakan A M N is equals to A M N. Saya guna je lah apa huruf yang ada ya. But probably bila bracket power dia darab kan? I suppose you know that. Right, so now bila kita dah berjumpa dengan base yang sama dan index yang sama iaitu 5 to the power of x, we can use let m. Kamu boleh guna huruf apa-apa sahaja yang kamu suka, W, Y or something, but I love m, so I use m. So let m is equals to 5 to the power of x. So dekat sini kita menggunakan teknik, this is where saya guna warna merah ya. Merah ni juga penting. So this is like we are trying to use substitution. Okay, use substitution is just temporary. Use substitution to get a quadratic equation. Oh my god, Miss, where is this quadratic equation come from? Okay, I'll show you the magic. I'll show you where is the quadratic come from. So m squared, selesaikan ya dari sini. M squared times times 5, you're gonna get 5 times 5 kan, so saya letaklah 5 di depan, boleh ke? So 5m squared is equals to 6m minus 1. Therefore 5m squared minus 6m plus 1 is equals to 0. Okay, ini adalah maksud saya, quadratic equation mesti in terms of everything is equals to 0. It's like this, ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Inilah quadratic equation. Quadratic equation mesti ada equal to 0. So now you are on track sebab you ada equal to 0. You kena make sure everything is equal to 0. This is what it means by quadratic equation. So now you can factorize it using your calculator. Try to use calculator, boleh tak factorize? Okay, kadang-kadang tidak boleh. So this question membolehkan kamu untuk factorize. Ini cara laju saya buat. So m is 1 over 5, comma m is 1. But the thing is, do you want m ke? You nak x? So the question is very important here. You want x, bukannya m. So you have to change it back, the m into 5x. Therefore, yang belah kanan ni memang 1/5, tetapi 1/5 ni saya jadikan dia kepada 5 kuasa negatif 1. Sebab apa Miss nak jadikan dia terus? Sebab Miss boleh compare the base and the index. Therefore, I will get my answer. And then on the right hand side here, 1, do you remember 1 is actually anything to the power of 0? Jadi saya boleh jadikan 5, kuasa 5, base-nya 5 to the power of 0. Therefore my answer is x is equals to negative 1 and x is equals to 0. Tada! Magic! Dengan syarat kamu kena kuasai comparing the base and the index very quickly. Dan you juga mesti mempunyai basic yang sangat strong. When you have the basic strong, you will never go wrong, okay? So yang ini, kalau you have a to the power of negative m, you akan dapat 1 over a m. So this is what, these two formula that I'm using here, around here. Is it okay, everyone, so far? So far, so great, right? Boleh ke? Anyone, you can comment there whenever I ask you guys, please. I really need some response whether you understand or not so far. Boleh ke? Okay, thank you. Kalau ada sesiapa yang belum faham, nanti mesej saya, okay? Don't give up yet, please. You boleh ulang video saya banyak kali sehingga kamu faham. Let's go to the 5th question. So, yang ini, saya kan, disebabkan saya hafal cubic, but yeah, actually these two numbers is quite familiar for me. Tiga yang saya highlight, dua nombor yang saya highlight ni is quite familiar for me. That's why I know what it will be eventually. So now I'll show you the magic, yeah. So macam mana saya boleh dapat yang ini? It's just because of this thing. It's just because of this formula here. So you kena mahirkan basic tu, ya. So now I know that 343, what does it mean? 343 is 7 to the power of 3. Okay, so x squared tu you boleh letak sebelah dia lah. Dia memang power yang sama. Okay, dia memang, so dia bersebelahan dengan 3. Okay, dia bersebelahan, dia bukan atas 3, dia bersebelahan. Make sure you write it correctly. Okay, so yang ni saya salin lah, ya. So now barulah saya happy, saya boleh compare 3x squared. I mean, I times the power first. Saya selesaikan power dia dulu, index dia dulu. And then here I get -1 plus 5x, ataupun you nak tulis 5x minus 1 also okay, also boleh. When you have done this part, you can compare base and index. Compare the base and index here. I'll just buat bulatan dekat sini, Compare it, I will get 3x squared is equals to -1. Equal tu jangan, equal tu biar situ. Jangan kacau dia, okay? It's just that. Left hand side, right hand side. So right hand side kita ada -1 plus 5x. And then bila you jumpa dalam bentuk, you know, somehow like quadratic, you kena familiar quadratic ni bentuk macam mana. So 3x squared minus 5x plus 1 is equals to 0. So you meet a quadratic. When you see a quadratic, so now you meet a quadratic equation. You know bila you jumpa quadratic equation, you have to factorize, isn't it? You kena factorize. But can you factorize it using calculator? Cuba tekan. When you use calculator, I have, even when I'm trying to do this kind, right? Saya macam, aku tak dapat je -5 di tengah-tengah ni. So when I can't find it, or even using calculator, I cannot find it, I cut it. Cut because I can't factorize. I can't factorize it normally. Allah, tulisan saya ni. Nak tulis laju. I can't factorize it normally means I can't dapatkan 2 factor and then equal to 0. I can't find it. Jadi, yes, dia dalam point. Bila Claire said here dalam point means you tak boleh sesuka hati letak point di dalam ni, ya. Tak boleh letak point dalam bracket. Cannot do that. Okay, take note. Saya nak padam ni. Okay, take note, ya. So what you should do here, bila kamu jumpa dengan point, you must use, okay, buat ni, this matahari means very important. So use quadratic formula. Yang ni yang saya nak tekankan. Use quadratic formula. Do you remember you have this formula? X is equals to negative b plus minus B squared minus 4AC. Everything divided with 2A. You remember this? So you remember this part. I got no spaces. I shall make it small a bit, for a while. Alamak. Alahai. Sekejap, yeah. I need some space here. I hope you can still see it. So now barulah, bila you dapat point, make sure you use quadratic formula. And then you masukkanlah B. You tahu B you apa kan? B is negative 5. Plus minus square root of B squared. Negative 5 squared minus 4A A3 C1. And then the whole thing divided by 2A. A kamu 3. Okay. And so you will get X is positive 5 plus minus square root 13 divided by 6. So you have got two answer here, tapi janganlah tinggalkan dalam bentuk plus minus begini. You tinggalkan X, in conclusion X is 5 plus square root 13 over 6 dan juga X is equals to 5 minus square root 13 over 6. You jadikan dia sebagai dua jawapan yang berbeza. Itulah jawapan kamu. Okay, remember when you have a point, you must cut it down. You cannot put the point into two factor. You can't do that. Okay, you mesti guna quadratic formula. Penting ya, kena catat yang ni. Quadratic formula guna apabila you dapat X dalam points. So yang ini boleh dalam jawapan point ataupun nak dalam square root pun boleh. Dua-dua diterima as long as you give 4 decimal places at least. And now I shall go to the final example untuk untuk LO yang pertama, indices. Okay. So now let's go to the final part untuk equation. Indices, yang ada indices. So dekat sini, by the time here, you mesti dah tahu dah apa you kena buat. You carilah benda yang familiar tau. Okay, cari benda yang familiar. Saya tak tahulah nak buat ayat apa, tapi itu je yang saya boleh fikir sekarang. Cari benda, perkara, base yang familiar. So in this case, base yang familiar adalah base 6 lah. So I know I shall use substitution. Saya dah when you do a lot of practice, you will see what will it be in the middle or at the end. Itulah kelebihan seronoknya matematik ni, sebab you boleh see what's in future a bit. Wow, macam hebat pula dengar ni. So here is 6x to the in bracket, number 2 outside. Remember ya, tadi saya buat tu A M N is equals to A darab N. Okay. Saya rasa saya dah ulang ni banyak kali dah. Okay. So plus 6. Yang sama ni biar kekal lah, jangan kacau dia. And then bila dah jumpa base dan index yang sama, we are happy. And therefore we can let M is equals to 6 to the power of X. So here we shall use substitution. Use substitution, and here you will meet apa? You to get a quadratic equation. Remember, quadratic equation mesti akan ada equal to 0. Okay, so here masukkan M, so you get M squared plus 6M minus 2 equal to 0. Saya buat laju sikit ya. And then here, I'll try to think whether I can factorize or not. Do I can factorize it? Macam tak boleh je. Cannot. Bila saya buat begini, saya tak jumpa. Saya tak jumpa langsung 6m di tengah-tengah. So this is not working as well. When this is not working, you shall do the quadratic formula. But in this case, saya tidak mahu ajar quadratic formula. But actually soalan yang ini, dia akan minta tahu. Dalam PSPM, dia akan kata, by using completing the square. By using the completing the square, find x. Soalan ini adalah berbentuk PSPM sedikit lah. Kadang-kadang dia memang akan spesifik, dia minta kamu guna completing the square. So I am now not trying to use quadratic formula, but I want to teach you how you can use method yang completing the square. So this is not working, therefore cara nak completing the square adalah make sure di depan ni mesti koefisiennya 1. Okay? You must make sure first coefficient here is 1. Bila you make sure this is 1, therefore you boleh m plus 3 bracket squared. Dia macam, how should I say this? Dia mesti ada bracket squared. Saya buat rangka dululah. Bracket squared minus small bracket squared. Itulah dia completing the square. Cara saya sangat mudah. Cara saya tak complicated macam di sekolah. This is a bit easier for me. Make sure coefficient mesti 1. Tulislah, nanti lupa. Coefficient mesti 1. Coefficient mesti 1 untuk term yang pertama. And then here, this is 6, right? I'll focus on the positive first. If this is positive, you use positive. If that is negative, you use negative. Okay. Now 6 pula boleh dibahagikan, 6 mesti dibahagikan dengan 2. Iaitu you akan dapat nilai 3. Okay. And therefore, dekat sini pula, di mana kamu tulis balik 3 di dalam bracket square. Okay. Therefore, you have got your first 2 term dan yang di belakang you salin. So what you are trying to do is you are trying to solve the first 2 term sahaja. Untuk completing the square, you are focusing at term yang pertama dan term yang kedua sahaja yang you ubahkan. Term yang ketiga salin and the rest of it salin, and therefore you solve it. You akan dapat m plus 3 squared minus 9 minus 2 is equals to 0. Solve it. Simplify it again. So this you will get negative 11 equal to 0, right? So now I bring the negative 11 to the right. I'll get a positive 11 instead. Okay. And here saya jadikan m sebagai subject. Therefore, I will get positive and negative or negative square root of 11. And then I want to make m as a subject. Jadikan m sebagai subject, I will get a positive or negative square root of 11 minus 3. So m dekat sini saya ada 2 bentuk jawapan. Okay, m dekat sini. Okay, ataupun terus sahaja tukarkan m ini kepada 6x. 6 to the power of x is equals to plus minus square root of 11 minus 3. Now we should compare it. Kita patut jadikan dia sebagai 2 equation yang berbeza. Dia akan jadi 6x. Equation yang pertama adalah 6x is equals to positive square root 11 minus 3. Dan equation yang kedua adalah 6x is equals to negative square root 11 minus 3. So ini adalah 2 equation yang berbeza. Hanya disebabkan square root kita satu positif dan satu lagi negatif. Okay, you kena pecahkan dia sebab kita ada plus and minus. Setiap kali ada square root, setiap kali ada squared, mesti akan ada 2 jawapan. That's the reason. And now, Miss, this is quite difficult to solve. How do we get the x? Oh my god, this is much this is getting quite complicated. It is, my dear. This is sort of like PSPM questions. This is UPS questions. And it is a bit challenging. Okay, you jangan takut. You just follow the flow. Yakin yang you are doing the right thing. Okay, so now you are trying to find X and you cannot because you don't have the same base. Base tak ada yang sama. Tak ada langsung yang sama. So, kalau base tak boleh, do you remember kalau base tak boleh, kalau compare base tak boleh, what do you do? Kalau compare base tak menjadi, tak boleh, what do? You do log both side. Itulah dia. Kalau compare base tak menjadi, you buat log both side. So log both side. Saya guna merah dan oranye ni sebab penting. Okay, saya buat equation yang pertama dulu ya. So now X saya boleh bawa turun. The power I can bring it down. And then I can finally make X as a subject. Saya duplicate je lah ya, senang sikit. And then I divide it with log 6. And therefore I got my answer, which is negative 0.6418. Tapi jangan letak hashtag dulu. Jangan confident nak letak hashtag dulu sebab are we confident enough? Untuk indices kita confident actually. Untuk indices sangat confident untuk buat hashtag sign ni sebab nanti saya beritahu kenapa. Okay, tapi kita tak habis. Kita ada lagi satu lagi equation. Okay, do you know that what I'm doing right here is, this is like equation 1. Ini barulah equation yang pertama. This is equation 1. Now I still have to continue solve the equation 2, which is make it log both side. Untuk equation yang kedua, buatlah bracket kalau kamu pening, and then jadikan X ni turun, bring down the power. The rest of this you copy back. And then you will realize that, oh my God, log negative. You press calculator. Will you see an answer here? It is going to give you maths error. So kalau maths error, you know that this thing is undefined. Jadi maksudnya dekat sini, you boleh buat in conclusion, your X is undefined since log cannot be negative. Apa yang dimaksudkan log cannot be negative? It is simply because when you press calculator log with any number yang ada negative, tak kisahlah nombor apa pun, yang penting dia negative, you will always get maths error dalam calculator. Okay, there are no value for log negative. So bila nampak je log negative, terus jawapan dia reject. Terus jawapannya di reject, and therefore tak ada jawapan pun, tetapi kamu kena bagi reason, memberi reason dekat sini, memberi reason yang the X is undefined and tell it why, since the log cannot be negative. This is the correct way of getting the full marks, 8 marks or 7 marks in PSPM. Is it okay, everybody? Habis dah untuk indices. Boleh ke? So far so good. So actually we do have 2 answers here. Boleh faham ke? Kalau kamu belum boleh faham, tidak apa. Kamu boleh try to repeat this video again and again. Okay? Tengok. Cara nak faham adalah menulis. Hanya dengan menulis sahaja kamu boleh faham. Kalau kamu pandang dan hafal, it doesn't work in mathematics. It will work in biology, but it is not working in maths. Okay? Nanti ulang balik video ni ya, kalau kamu struggle. So now let's go to the second LO. So the second LO iaitu find the equation involving surd. Untuk LO yang kedua ni, untuk solve the surd, saya hanya bagi 3 example sahaja. Okay, 3 example ni pun cukup untuk membuatkan kamu buat latihan seterusnya. So now let me begin with the first one. So the tips is actually before you, the tips here guys, before, maybe I should write it here, tips. Before you, okay, dekat sini kamu nampak squared both side kan, SBS. Hafal ya, SBS bermaksud squared both side. Squared both side. But actually before you squared both side, you rearrange them first. Before ya, tips dekat sini sangat mudah. Actually you nak terus squared both side pun boleh, tetapi cara yang paling mudah, cara yang cepat dapat jawapan adalah rearrange, making surd as a subject. Okay, making surd as a subject here is jadikan surd dekat sini sebagai subject. This is what I meant. Jadikan surd sebagai subject. Maybe I should write it in Malay. Kamu buat nota, buatlah cara kamu sendiri. It doesn't matter. Jadikan surd sahaja tau. Surd sahaja. Yang ada nombor selain surd, bawa dah dipindah. Jadikan surd sahaja sebagai subject. Itu tips. Kamu guna tips ni untuk dapatkan jawapan dengan cepat. Okay, so when after you have jadikan surd sebagai subject, barulah you boleh squared both side. So untuk selesaikan surd ni, sebabkan dia square root kan, jadi dia banyak menggunakan teknik squaring both side, SBS, squared both sides. Sangat-sangat banyak sebab kita nak cancelkan surd, nak cancelkan square root, mestilah bertemu dengan squared. But we cannot do it on the left hand side sahaja. We must do both sides. Okay, so you will get 2x minus 1 is equals to 25. And then 2x is equals to 26. Therefore, x is equals to 13. Dekat sini, you tak boleh terus buat hashtag. No. You cannot. You cannot do, tak boleh. No hashtag yet. Untuk surd kita agak sedih ya. You should be. Sebab you kena banyak buat kerja sedikit. Untuk surd, untuk semua soalan surd, kita memang kena recheck. This is what I write it down here. This is important. We have to recheck on the left hand side, sama ke tidak, to the right hand side. Okay, so kamu buatlah LHS ni, left hand side here equal, buat macam ni. Untuk recheck, left hand side is equals to the square root of 2x minus 1 minus 5. Oh, you must miss mana satu yang nak digunakan. Is it equation 1? Is it equation 1 that you want to recheck? Or is it question 2 that you want to recheck? Jadi another tips here. Tips. Actually, this is not tips. This is important. This is very, very important. You have to recheck at first. equation only. Untuk equation yang pertama sahaja yang kamu buat recheck, which is this part. Which is this one that you have to recheck. So you are using the left hand side. The left hand side part, masukkan nilai X di sini. Masukkan nilai X dia iaitu 13. Okay, so now I hilangkan sekejap. Saya memasukkan left hand side here. 2 times 13 minus 1 minus 5. Use your calculator and you will get 0. Tapi saya nak terus tekan calculator pun boleh. Nak terus nak selesaikan sedikit demi sedikit pun boleh. So you get 0 here. Oh, left hand side is equals to 0. Kalau right hand side memang 0 juga. Therefore, left and the right is equal. Barulah at the end here, you boleh letak X is equals to 13 and then you put the hashtag. Put hashtag means that is your final answer. Final answer bukan final answer, final correct answer. Sebab kadang-kadang tidak semua jawapan yang equal left and right they are equal. No, sometimes they are not equal. Dekat situlah yang one of the answer will be rejected. And then it's okay, I'll show you on the next example. Kamu akan nampak macam mana saya reject salah satu jawapan disebabkan mereka tidak equal. Okay, cumanya sekarang ni saya nak kamu fahamkan macam mana menggunakan teknik squaring both side. Okay, squaring both side and then recheck dekat mana equation yang pertama, first equation. This is our first equation. Recheck pada first equation. Recheck, tulis itu, recheck pada first equation sahaja. Bukan pada second, bukan pada third. Now, let's go to the second example. So dekat sini saya macam dah buat rangka kan. Mesti kamu nampak, oh SBS once, SBS 2 means twice. Maksudnya ada 2 kali. Is it ada 2 kali? Let's check it out whether we have twice SBS or not. Let's check it out. Tapi kan guys, do you remember when I say a tips here? Tips adalah jadikan Surds sebagai subjek. Jadikan Surds sebagai subjek. Ya, Miss ni pun ada Surd tapi ada 2 Surd. Perlukah kita jadikan Surd sebagai subjek? Maksudnya Surd yang mana satu nak jadikan subjek? So actually anything can. So maksudnya saya perlu perbetulkan ayat saya lah. Tipsnya adalah jadikan satu Surd sebagai subjek. Jadikan satu je, salah satu sahaja yang sebagai subjek. So in this case, saya nak jadikan square root of x plus 2 sebagai subjek. And here I move it to the right. Square root x, saya bring it to the right by minus it. And here is the SBS number 1. Square both sides. SBS adalah squaring both sides, ya. Square both sides. And then x plus 2. Dekat sini, 2 minus square root x. 2 minus square root x. Saya buat pelan-pelan supaya semua orang boleh faham. 2 times 2 is 4 minus 2 square root x. Square root 2x lah kan? Sekali je. Sorry, I'm a bit blur. Okay. Yeah. No. It's 4. Okay lah. Saya buat pelan-pelan lah. Sebab saya pun confused kan. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then minus 2 square root x minus 2 square root x. That's why you're going to get negative 4 square root x. And then here you will get positive x. Sebab apa positive x? Because do you remember square root a times square root a, you only get a? So simplify it, you will get 4 minus 4 square root x plus x. Jadikan yang ada square root sebagai subjek. Jadikan dia sebagai subjek, so I bring it into positive part. Saya bring it to the left supaya dia jadi positive. And here you get 4 plus x minus 2. It means you will get 4 minus 2, which is 2. Yang ni hilang lah. 4 minus 2 is 2. And here square root x is 1 over 2. Okay. The thing is, Miss, dekat mana yang squared both side tu, Miss? Actually, inilah tempat dia. Ni squared both side is here. It's either here. You nak buat mana satu? Salah satu pun boleh. You nak buat yang ini pun boleh, yang ini pun boleh. So this is where the squaring both side. Squaring both side yang kedua. Square both side. And so you will get x is equals to 1 over 4. So basic kamu kena kuat ya, again. Sebab tu saya buat banyak soalan dalam quizzes saya. Saya prepare a lot of a lot of questions to you to practice. Ya, sebelum ni. Kan? Minggu lepas agak banyak kan soalan saya bagi. Saya memang purposely bagi supaya dia boleh menguatkan foundation kamu untuk buat soalan jenis cert macam ni. Soalan-soalan jenis cert macam ni boleh jadi complicated seperti ini. So, you have to have a good foundation, strong foundation. Barulah you boleh dapatkan. You boleh dapatkan jawapan X bersamaan dengan 1/4 begini. Okay, this is the correct answer. But wait, hold on. This is not yet the hashtag. Belum lagi jawapan kita. Belum lagi make sure that this is really, really correct. So, you have to do recheck. How to do recheck? Left hand side yang mana? Left hand side untuk first equation. Saya highlight it. So we want to find whether this left hand side bersamaan dengan nilai 2. Okay, so left hand side, maybe I bring it a bit down here. So left hand side, square root 1/4, terus masukkan je. Tak payah letak x dah. Tambah square root 1/4 tambah 2. You terus je tekan calculator. Actually tak payah nak solve satu demi satu pun tak apa. Tekan je calculator, you akan dapat 2. So, left hand side is 2. How about right hand side? Tulis juga right hand side. R, huruf H, huruf S. Right hand side is what? Right hand side memang dah 2. Oh, kalau right hand side dan left hand side sama, therefore, our final answer, 3 dot ni, x is equals to 1 over 4. This is your final answer. I put a sticker here. I have a sticker. Yay! Add. Tanya. We have got the right answer, the right final answer, iaitu 1/4 dengan syarat you mesti recheck dahulu. Okay? Recheck untuk cert. Kamu ada nampak ke saya buat recheck untuk indices tadi? Tak ada kan? So far, pandai-pandai observe. So far, untuk recheck hanyalah kepada soalan cert sahaja. How about log? We'll see. So now let's go to the final answer pula. Final question, final example untuk Surd, solving surd. Oh, this is much more complicated. Sebab apa complicated? Sebab kamu akan nampak, oh wow, got 1 surd, 2 surd, and 3 surd. Oh my god, you have 3 surd there. Are you afraid? Are you afraid to have 3 surds here? Don't be, but because the method is just the same by using squaring both sides SBS. If you do know how to do it, you may start it. So now macam mana nak square both sides? Macam ni sahaja. Left hand side, right hand side, buat bracket square, buat bracket square. Dua-dua belah. Bracket square, bracket square. Itulah yang dimaksudkan squaring both side. Ini yang kali pertama. So untuk soalan surd begini, kamu akan berjumpa dengan 2 kali SBS. Okay? So now jangan takut, jangan cuak, salin. Duplicate. Saya suka duplicate sebab tak perlulah saya tulis banyak kali kan. So oh no. Alhamdulillah. Sekejap ya. Let me use this for a bit. Okay, now I'm ready. I'm very, very ready to times it 1 by 1. Okay, here is where I will get 3x plus 1. Sebab apa? Sebab square root A times square root A is equals to A. Okay, you should be good at this. And then minus 2 times, wow, miss panjangnya. Yes, panjang sebab ada 2 bracket dalam ni. How do you know? Because I'm good at the rules of surd. Okay, so this is where you darabkan 3x tambah 1 darabkan dengan 2x tolak 1. And then kenapa saya tahu dia ada 2 minus 2 sebab sini pun sama je. And the final one would be positive 2x minus 1. Yang ini on the right hand side pula adalah x tambah 2 sahaja. Because square root bertemu square, hilanglah square root. And then I will try to solve this and this. Let's solve it. I will get 5x only sebab 1 tolak 1 hilang. So I will get 5x minus 2 square root of 3x plus 1, 2x minus 1 equal to x plus 2. And then saya jadikan ini sebagai subjek. Jadikan yang ada square root sebagai subjek ya guys. Dan saya menyelesaikan x tambah 2 dengan 5x ni. So I minus 5x for both sides. Tolak I will get here negative 4x plus 2. Ooh, very interesting. And then jadikan square root sebagai subjek lagi. I will get positive 2x. Yang ini tahu, saya bawa dia pindah. Bukan bawa dia pindah, saya bahagikan both side dengan negative 2. I will get a positive 2 minus 1. Positive 2x minus 1. Is it right? Can you perbetulkan saya ya kalau saya disilap? Is it so far so good? Kenapa saya dapat yang ini? It is because of negative 4x plus 2 is divided by negative 2. And so I got this lah. Okay. Saya padam ya. And then this is where the squaring both sides came in. Ni saya buat ni, matahari. Squaring both sides, SBS yang kedua, twice. Why is that? Because I am still having surd. Sebab ada surd lagi. Sebab ada surd lagi dekat situ, that's why lah kita squared both sides lagi sekali. And then kita akan dapat jawapan 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. That is our answer. And yang ini kita selesaikan lah. Solve it. Solve it, solve it, solve it. You will get 6x squared minus x minus 1. On the right hand side, saya salin balik. And then saya simplify it. I will get 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equal to 0. And here I finally got a quadratic equation. So jangan risau, a quadratic equation you boleh use your calculator to factorize it. So hati-hati tengok boleh factorize ke tak. Usually boleh lah. Soalan ni terlalu complicated dah. Tak adalah dia minta untuk guna quadratic formula kot. Tapi mungkin ada juga. But I think untuk soalan ni tak ada langsung. Untuk soalan ni tak ada langsung. You terus dapat jawapan X adalah nombor yang senang lah. Iaitu 1/2 dan juga X adalah negative 2. Here you go. You got a quite nice number. Nice number means tak ada point lah bagi saya. Okay? Cukup happy dah untuk saya bila saya dapat dua nombor yang cantik. Dua nombor yang cantik. Dua nombor yang mudah lah untuk kita calculate. Bukan, untuk recheck. So here we go. We got, this is no hashtag yet. Okay, belum lagi. So kita unhappy. Belum happy lagi. No hashtag yet because we got to recheck. We have to recheck untuk dua nombor ini adakah dua-dua diterima. Cara nak buat adalah masukkan left hand side. Okay, kena tengok balik soalan yang mana? Tengok balik soal equation yang pertama. So I highlight the first equation. Tolong tak perlu hafal lah. I mean you just check the left hand side. The left hand side is square root 3 darab 1/2 tambah 1 tolak square root 2 darab 1/2 tolak 1. So you use your calculator and you straight away get an answer which is square root 5/2. Terus je tekan calculator, tak payah susah payah kira satu demi satu. No need. And then on the right hand side, this is right hand side, square root x tambah 2 means square root 1/2 tambah 2. And then you got, oops, maybe I should write it down. And then you also got 5/2. Oh, you are very happy. Sebab left dia sama dengan right dia. Okay, the left is the same as the right hand side. Therefore, this is the correct answer. Bolehlah letak hashtag untuk 1/2 baru. Untuk 1/2 yang dia sama kiri dan kanan. But untuk negative 2 pula, adakah dia sama? So you gotta recheck again. Sub in the value, masukkan sub in the value into first equation. Kamu faham kan macam mana saya buat recheck ni? Do you all understand that I'm trying to put this value of x, this value of 1/2 ke dalam first equation? Do you realize what I'm doing? Do you know how to recheck? Can any one of you respond? Boleh ke kamu, betul-betul ke kamu faham apakah fungsi recheck ini? Yang saya tengah cuba sub in value of x ke dalam first equation. Do you understand, guys? Yeah. Okay, thank you for your response. So, untuk apabila saya memasukkan nilai negatif 2 pula, okay, I'm trying to put negative 2, I will realize that I've got a value of negative 5 minus square root of negative 5. But this is actually undefined. Miss, bukan 0 ke? Tidak. Because of the value negative 5, the value of negative 5 dalam Surd, disebabkan dia di dalam Surd, dia adalah undefined. When you use your calculator, you press square root negative anything, you get maths error, right? Therefore, we call it undefined. Since Surds cannot, macam log tadi, since Surd cannot be negative. Itu je reason dia. It is undefined. Kita nak tengok right hand side. Kita dapat apa pula? Negative 2 tambah 2, we got 0. And obviously they are not the same. Therefore x equals to negative 2 is rejected. Kamu nak letak ni pun boleh. Ataupun finally you just put the final answer is actually x is equals to 1/2 only. Barulah kamu happily-nya letaklah hashtag dekat sini. Menunjukkan kamu telah habis recheck. Jadi hati-hati ya, untuk Surd tidak semua jawapan x diterima. Macam mana nak tahu mana satu yang betul dan diterima? You have to do recheck. That is the only way of getting the final answer correct. I hope you do understand kepentingan recheck tersebut. Now we are done untuk Surd. 2 LO dah habis dalam masa 1 jam lebih. Quite fast, isn't it? Wow. Saya harap kamu salinlah semua example yang saya ajar ni. Kamu mesti salin. You have to write it down, okay? So, saya ada 4 lagi soalan yang saya nak jawab. InsyaAllah boleh habis dalam masa lagi setengah jam. Okay, so we only have 1 hour and 30 minutes for this one. InsyaAllah, we'll try, okay? Can you not see my... Can you see me? Tak nampak muka saya? Dah hilang mukanya? Tiba-tiba pula dia hilang, ya? Dari tadi ke tak nampak muka saya? Dari pukul berapa lah tu, ya? Tadi ada kan? Ya, Miss nak nampak. Ya Allah, hilanglah pula. Macam mana nak bagi dia nampak? Saya dah open kamera dah. What should I do? Oh, dari tadi tak nampak ke? Guys, dari tadi tak nampak ke? Astaghfirullahalazim. Dah nampak dah? Okay, dah nampak saya dah. Saya punya lah effort ingatkan kamu nampak saya. Tak apalah asalkan kamu faham, itu lagi penting. Masuk soalan ni terus hilang muka Miss. Oh. Okay lah, tak apa. Yay, 4 more example, then we finish. Peluh-peluh guys. Saya harap kamu pun peluh-peluh, sama-sama berjuang dengan saya. Okay, jangan putus asa. Okay, kita mathematician kita kuat. No matter how difficult the question is, there is always solution to it. Wah. I'm feeling proud a bit. Okay. Now, actually guys, untuk LO yang ketiga, sebenarnya sangat mudah. Kamu telah membuat banyak soalan-soalan ni di dalam quiz saya minggu lepas. Quizzes saya lah minggu lepas. Sebabnya, we will use a lot of log in this type of equation. In this type equation yang ada logarithm, log ni yang mempunyai 4 formula. Okay, yang mempunyai 4 formula, you should memorize it by now. You should memorize it by now that we have 4 formula untuk log. Tulis itu, ada 4 formula untuk log. Okay, dan kena hafal. Kalau dulu face to face, saya selalu berdiri, minta student saya diri, semua orang, 24 orang satu kelas berdiri, saya tanya seorang-seorang formula. That is how I do. And they feel quite like it even though they are quite nervous. Yeah, it's fun so that as a courage untuk kamu hafal. Now, so I am trying to use this formula right here. Log M, base A ni memang sama lah kan. Base A tetap sama. Base A tak boleh berubah. Okay, whatever base they are, they must be the same in this formula. Yang paling penting kamu faham adalah log M tambah log N, kamu akan dapat log M darab N. Dia mesti darab disebabkan dia tambah. So dekat sini dia operasi tambah untuk 2 log. Log tambah log. Therefore you akan dapat log base 2 and M times N, you akan dapat X darab X tolak 7. On the right hand side masih sama 3. So now log base 2 X times X minus 7. Yang ini you boleh selesaikan. Dia akan jadi X squared minus 7. Whereas here, here tendang base ni naik atas, 3 ni pun naik atas. Macam mana tu Miss? Dia akan jadi 2 kuasa 3. Dia ditendang naik atas. So dia, do you remember? You should remember, right? What do we call this? Base of logarithm. Base of log. Do you remember that? Macam mana formula ni? Saya selalu guna je. So log base A. I can't remember. Is it base A? And then this is y is equals to x. Sebenarnya ini adalah akan memberi kamu y equals to ax. Macam ni. You should remember this formula last week. Even SPM dulu pun kamu dah belajar. Okay, so tendang base ni, base akan tetap jadi base. So apa yang saya bulatkan ni, this is the base. Base will always come base. Okay, so 2 akan jadi base, 3 akan jadi power. You should know this by now. Oh sorry, saya tertinggal X. And then 8 kan, this is 8. But then I can move it, the 8 to the left. And therefore I can factorize it, straight away factorizing it. Magic from me. I don't need to use calculator. Oh, thank you everyone yang tegur saya dekat sini. Negative 7x, betul. And then I get negative x is equals to negative 1 and x is equals to 8. Okay. Kamu kena faham ya, what is this? This is quadratic. Quadratic equation bukan berdiri dengan sendirinya. Quadratic equation mesti ada 0. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Equal to 0 mesti ditulis. Okay. Remember, wajib. And then you got a true value here. But do you really sure that both answer is acceptable? Is it acceptable? No, you are not sure yet. Okay, you tak sure langsung pun yang dua-dua jawapan ni diterima. So cara nak sure adalah dengan buatlah recheck. So recheck dekat sini, caranya adalah maybe I put it down here. No hashtag yet. Saya kena tulis supaya kamu ingat. Okay. So recheck kat sini. Untuk log, dia tidak sepayah, dia tidak serenyah surd. Okay, untuk log, dia sangat simple. Dia buat statement je. So, x, the answer is actually here. X equals to negative 1 is rejected. Is rejected since log base 2, saya guna base 2 sebab soalan ni base 2. Base 2 negative 1 is undefined. You tak percaya, you tekan calculator, log, tak payahlah base 2 pun tak apa. Log negative 1, kita dah tahu, terus tahu dah. Log negative 1 is always undefined. Therefore, yang diterima hanyalah, therefore, the answer is x equals to negative 8 only. Sebab log 8 ada nilai. Sebab log 8 ada nilai. Jadi, begitu sahaja. This is how easy your answer should be. Okay, x is equals to 8 only. Sebenarnya itulah cara memeriksa, cara untuk recheck log. Dia tidak sepayah surd. Okay. So let's go to the second equation. Okay, now you should know this one by now, that this is ln minus ln. Ln minus ln ataupun log minus log akan memberi kamu log divide m bahagi n. So saya teruskan je ya. So ln 4x plus 1 divided by 3x minus 2 and then equals to ln 5. You have to make sure yang siapa yang datang dulu dia akan berada di atas. Jangan sesuka hati nak letak di kat bawah pula. Okay, you have to follow the rule. You are trying to follow the law. Hukum-hukum logarithm. Hukum-hukum logarithm kena ikut. Kalau m yang datang dulu, m yang akan berada di atas. And then buatlah bahagi yang n pula di bawah. Okay, jangan suka hati nak ubah mengikut cita rasa kamu sendiri. Tidak. Mathematics is very rigid. We have to follow the formula. Okay, kalaulah kamu dah belajar universiti, kalaulah kamu dah jadi mathematician yang bertauliah, barulah kamu boleh argue itu ini. So selagi kamu masih student, masih dalam title pelajar, you should accept it first. Okay, no argument it yet. Okay, you boleh argue bila di dalam universiti nanti. So now, barulah you boleh compare. You compare because ln and ln dah settle kan? Ln and ln dah benda yang sama. You bolehlah compare both right and the left. 4x plus 1 divided by 3x minus 2 equals to 5. You boleh compare this thing with this thing. And therefore, you solve it. 4x plus 1 is equals to 15x minus 10. Therefore, you will get 11x. And here is positive 11, therefore your x is 1. 11 bahagi 11 is 1. But this is not, is it a hashtag? Is it a hashtag for us? Boleh hashtag? Boleh letak? Boleh letak hashtag dulu. So macam mana nak tahu? It is just to determine untuk soalan log, whether this answer, is it positive or is it negative? So log sangat simple untuk recheck. Cara untuk recheck, please put this. Cara untuk recheck adalah nak tahu dia reject ataupun dia accept. So x, in conclusion, x equals to 1 is accepted. Sama ada rejected ataupun accepted because ataupun since log ataupun ln 1 is defined. Ln 1 is defined ataupun ln 1 is a positive value, macam tu. Because ln x, okay, ln 1 is defined ataupun you boleh letak since ln x is positive value. Selagi mana ln ataupun log dia positive nilai, positive value, you have to accept it. The answer is literally accepted. Okay, this is actually terus boleh letak hashtag. Boleh. Sebab tak ada yang log negatif langsung pun. Let's go to the third example. Oh, miss, this is indices. Ya, soalan ni indices. Kenapa soalan ni indices tapi miss letak dekat solving logarithm? Okay, tak apa. Kita tengok macam mana. Disebabkan ini base yang tidak sama, I have to put log both side. So datanglah log. Muncullah log tersebut. Daripada dia tak ada, dia jadi ada. Log both side. So dia berkait lah sebenarnya. Log and indices is quite berkait, isn't it? So now I bring the power down. I will get x minus 1 log base 2 and here x log base 2 pula. Log base 10. Ni base 10. Ni tak ada apa-apa, ni base 10 ni. Okay. Log 2 equal to x log 3. Tapi kamu kena hati-hati, jangan terus nak cepat jangan nak cepat selesaikan, jadikan, you nak jadikan ni sebagai subject and then you bring it here. It doesn't work. If you put this like that, kalau you buat begini kan, it doesn't work because you do not know how to solve this. You have no idea. So if you have no idea means they are wrong. Okay, when they are wrong, what you can do is just masukkan setiap satu ni. Darabkan dia. Okay, darabkan dia. Sini dan sini. So you will get x log 2 minus log 2 is equals to x log 3. And then combine together. Combine the thingy here. Combinekan x dengan x. Bukanlah combine apa. Macam make it together. Make it together. So log 2, x log 2 minus x log 3 equal to positive log 2. Therefore, you factorize it, you akan dapat log 2 minus log 3. And now, barulah kamu dapat jawapan yang terakhir, iaitu log 2 divided by log 2 minus log 3. Tapi jangan tinggalkan jawapan macam ni. Jawapan kamu sepatutnya negative 1.7095. Oh, miss, you put a hashtag. Why are you being so confident? Why are you so confident that Miss you put terus ni kan X negative, Miss. Why do you put hashtag straight away? This is the correct answer, guys. Macam mana saya sangat confident? Because ini, do you remember, is it the first equation yang kita check ataupun second equation yang kita check? Is it first or second equation yang kita check? Yang kita recheck. Sorry. Yang kita recheck. Is it first or the second equation? I want you guys to respond it to me. Is it the first or the second that we recheck? Is it the first equation ataupun second equation yang kita recheck? Anybody? Jawapan ni betul. I think it is the first. So the first is because the first equation is indices. Indices perlu check tak? Indices perlu check tak? Indices tak perlu check. Indices tak perlu check. Tak perlu check. Sebab itulah kalau tak perlu check, saya terus tahu jawapan ni adalah betul. Tak kisahlah positif ataupun negatif. Sebab tu saya tahu bila nak letak hashtag tu dengan cepat. So you gotta know which one need to be rechecked, which one that doesn't need to be rechecked. It is always according to your first equation. Okay. Now let's go to our final part from me. Wow. Sikit lagi guys. Come on, we can do this. Semangat semua orang. Okay. Walaupun penat macam mana kita pun, jangan kamu putus asa, okay? We have a whole few months untuk sampai PSM, and you gotta aim. You have to have a higher aim untuk dapatkan course yang kamu sangat-sangat mahukan. By the time you know, okay, you are modul 3. I know most of you love to becoming a doctor, a medical officer, right? Tapi a medical officer needs results yang gempar, 4 flat, 3.5 above, 3.7, 3.8. That is your aim. So you cannot only bagus dalam biology, dalam kimia, tidak. Kamu memerlukan matematik, memerlukan science com untuk kamu dapat pointer 3.5 ke atas. So you cannot avoid mathematics and you cannot avoid science com. Okay, these two subjects will help you to get the course that you want. Okay, so you kena semangat, jangan putus asa walaupun bagaimanapun susah subjek itu, you have to try. No matter how difficult it is, you must fight for it. Okay, so now tips saya dekat sini, tips yang terakhir dari saya adalah cari base unknown. Okay, bila kamu cari base unknown, Miss, apa maksud base unknown? Ini kamu pernah tak selesaikan base unknown? Macam tak pernah. Tak pernah kan? Jadi base unknown di mana kita tidak suka base unknown. Kita tak suka. Jadi kita tukar. Senang je. Kita tak suka. Kan? Kita tak suka. Alamak, kacau lah yang ni. Saya bawa dia turun kejap. Kita tak suka kan? Disebabkan kita tak suka, jadi kita tukar. Kita tukar jadi apa? Kita tukar jadi base yang ada sesuatu di member sebelah dia. Susah cakap. So saya guna member lah. Dia ada member yang base-nya, dia ada member base-nya 3. So I gotta change this X base unknown into menjadi base yang baru, iaitu base 3 supaya dia di member. supaya ada member. Tulislah situ supaya ada member, ada kawan, supaya ada kawan. Maths is quite easy, you know. It's quite interesting to learn if you really know it. It is interesting. So log yang base 3, kamu kekalkan sahaja. Tetapi kalau log yang base-nya unknown, okay, base-nya unknown, kamu tak suka, kita tak suka, jadi kita kena tukar. Tapi sebelum kita tukar, kita kena make sure apa-apa yang nombor di depan ni, kita bawa lah dia naik atas jadi power by using this formula. What I want to do right now is bringing this 4 into becoming a power instead. Okay, by using the formula, I will get log base x 3 to the power of 4. I bring it up first. Saya memang sengaja jadikan dia bawa naik atas. Nanti saya tunjuk kenapa. Okay, so now dekat sini, after dah bawa dia naik atas, means saya ada coefficient 1 kan. So coefficient 1 ni lah yang membuatkan kita dengan happy-nya boleh apply changing of base. This is what we call as, hafal, formula yang keempat adalah change of base. Change of base daripada base unknown menjadi, daripada base unknown, base lama menjadi base yang baru. This is what we call as change of base. So I delete this. Just make sure you have coefficient 1 dulu ya. Make sure you have coefficient 1 dulu sebab tu you bawa 4 bawa naik atas jadi power. And so yang depan ni salin sahaja. Well, yang belakang ni lah yang kamu tukar. Saya buat rangka dulu ya. Plus 3 equal to 0 is remaining the same. But sama ni. Kenapa tu? But right. This is where we want to change our base. Daripada base X, kita nak tukarkan dia menjadi base apa? Nak jadi member dia, betul tak? Nak jadi kawan dia, betul tak? So kita nak tukarkan dia menjadi log base 3. Maybe I want to use warna merah lah. Log base 3 untuk siapa? Untuk 3 kuasa 4 bahagi log base 3 untuk siapa? Untuk X pula. If you really understand this formula, if you really understand this formula, you know what am I doing right now here. You must know apa yang saya tengah cuba buat. Okay? Daripada base X ini ditukarkan menjadi base yang baru, iaitu base 3. Sebab apa? Sebab kita ada member. Sebab tu kita nak base 3. Base baru kita tu adalah base 3 sebab kita ada member, you know. Kita ada kawan. Bila ada kawan, baru kita boleh buat something nanti. So caranya base 3 dah buat, kena bahagi dengan log base 3 juga. Tetapi yang 3 kuasa 4 mesti berada di atas. Manakala X pula di sini berada di bawah. So this is what the formula trying to tell you. The A is below here. Okay. While the M is above there. Okay. Kena buat banyak practice baru nampak. So now you bolehlah solve it happily. You akan dapat 4 bahagi log base 3x tambah 3 equal to 0. And here you are very, very happy. Oh Miss, macam mana Miss dapat 4 je ni Miss? Haduh. Because this thing is equals to, okay, because log base 3 kuasa 4 adalah 4 log base 3. Jadi this thing is actually 1, therefore it is equals to 4. Ikut formula. So now you can now let M equals to log base 3 equals to X. Kenapa you nak ada member? Kenapa you nak ada member? Sebab you boleh buat substitution. You boleh buat let M. Because when you do let M, you akan senang untuk selesaikan lagi daripada dalam log. You akan dapat M tolak 4 bahagi M plus 3 is equals to 0. And then you can times each term with M sebab nak cancelkan M di bawah. You akan dapat, tengok ni saya punya ex-student semua duk message kat sini Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Okay. So times it with M for each term here, you will get M squared minus 4 plus 3M equal to 0. I rearrange it into a proper quadratic. I rearrange it into a quadratic. Quadratic equation. Okay, remember a quadratic equation mesti ada equal to 0, right? And therefore kita factorize it. 1 times 4 is 4. And so here is 4 minus 1 is positive 3. Therefore, your M is positive 1 and M is negative 4. But is this your final answer? Adakah ini jawapan kamu? Of course, it is not your answer. Okay, this is not your final answer because your final answer is not yet. You have to change it back into log. Apa yang kamu dah let tadi tu, kamu tukarkan dia semula dalam bentuk log base 3 X equal it to 1. And then another one, log base 3 X equal it to negative 4. Therefore, tendang-tendang. Remember, tendang naik atas. You akan dapat 3 kuasa 1. Okay, 3 kuasa 1 bersamaan dengan X. And another one, X is equals to tendang 3 kuasa negative 4. Therefore, your final answer is X is equals to 3 and X or X equals to 1 over 3 to the power of 4, which is 1 over 81. And I put hashtag very quickly because I know both of them are acceptable because they are positive. Dalam log, both are accepted because or since the log X is defined ataupun the log X is defined ataupun is positive value. Itulah reasonnya yang kamu yakin that you are doing the correct thing. Is it okay, guys? We are finished now. Is it okay for everybody in my class here? Do you understand? So far, do you understand log? Bila waktunya nak kena check? Bila waktunya nak kena recheck? So, sebelum kamu scan, saya nak buat sedikitlah moral of the story. You can scan now, but moral of the lesson. I have a moral of the lesson. So moral of the lesson. So moral of the lesson ada 3. Saya bagi So the moral is recheck. Recheck hanya untuk Surd dan log sahaja. Untuk indices tidak perlu recheck langsung. Untuk Surd dan log sahaja yang perlu di recheck. Lagi-lagi yang Surd ni adalah right hand side is equals to left hand side or not, ataupun Manakala yang log pula, you have to check whether log x is positive or negative. Itu adalah the moral of the lesson today ya. Okay. Itulah cara untuk recheck. And lagi satu, you must be particular in mathematics. In maths, you mesti rigid. You mesti ikut formula betul-betul. Ikut formula. Don't argue too much. You boleh argue but not too much. And kalau boleh, you argue lah benda tu yang reasonable. Okay. And yang penting dekat sini, point saya, you mesti ikut formula. Each formula you mesti hafal dan ikut sahaja. And the last one is, here you go, as always, for every of my classes, please do summary 2.1, submit sebelum tengah malam pukul 12 ini. Tengah malam pukul 12, midnight. Okay? Tengok tu student lama saya. Thank you everyone. So I'll see you on Friday. You can now do the summary by tonight. Please also scan this. Tolong scan untuk dapatkan attendance. QR code tu turunkan sikit. Okay. Saya turunkan sikit. Scan me tu. Nanti saya bagi link juga dalam grup WhatsApp kita. And apa saya nak cakap tadi? And you boleh juga start buat tutorial questions untuk topik 2.1 sahaja. You boleh buat sekarang. Ataupun saya tak minta lagi untuk submit. Saya akan minta hujung minggu ni hari Ahad. But you can start already. You can start already doing the tutorial questions. You see ni student lama saya ni mengganggu saya lah. Saya kena tak gambar. Siapa ni? Hilang dah? Okay. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum. Esok cuti ke Miss? Pak Zia tanya. Esok 1 Muharram, cuti sebenarnya. Tapi kita ni kerja dari rumah, belajar dari rumah. Kamu rasa kita cuti ke? Kita cuti. Kita still kena ada kerja. I believe esok kamu ada subjek lain kan? So, yeah, we still have work even though kita cuti. Jangan putus asa, okay? You are still a student, you are still very young, you fight for your life. Okay, fight for your future. Assalamualaikum, goodbye.